This happened to a friend of mine when he was just 17 years old. He was driving home from a party with some friends when suddenly his car broke down. They were in the middle of nowhere, and it was the middle of the night. His phone was dead and there was no service. They tried calling for a tow truck, but they couldn't get through. They were getting desperate. As they're sitting there in the dark, they start hearing these weird noises in the forest nearby. At first, it sounded like screams in the forest, but then they started to sound like they were getting closer and closer. My friend and his friends started making a run for it, each taking off in their own direction. As my friend is running through the forest, he could hear the screams right behind him getting louder and louder. He could feel their hot breath on his neck as he's running. Finally, he makes it to his car and jumps in. When he looks back, he sees the scariest thing he's ever seen in his life. There were these 3 figures standing around his broken-down car, and they looked like they were made out of the darkness itself. Their eyes were glowing red in the darkness, and they seemed to be communicating with each other by moving their hands in strange ways. My friend started to scream and make a run for it again, and the figures in the forest started to move. They started running in his direction, and he could hear their footsteps crunching on the gravel road behind him. He kept running until he got to a highway, and when he looked back, the figures were gone. He called the police and told them what had happened, but they didn't believe him. They thought he was just making it up because he was high. The police told him to go home, but his night was far from over. When he got home, he started to hear the same sounds in his backyard. He looked out the window and saw the same 3 figures standing in his yard. They were looking at him and gesturing for him to come outside. He ran and hid in his basement. He spent the whole night down there with a baseball bat, and in the morning he called his dad to come pick him up because he was too scared to go outside. His dad came and took him out to the car, and they drove off. When they turned back to look at the house, they saw that it had burned to the ground overnight. To this day, my friend has never seen those figures again, but he still has nightmares about them.